Well, I'll tell you what an intense round number 2 it was just 24 hours ago. As we look back last night, the eliminator pin, the bull race between Bruiser and between Pearl Harbor, the World Championship, the rookie race, still nobody knows, and I don't think anybody will until this Sunday. But speaking of the world title race, we actually got the chance to sit down and talk to the world number 1, Derek Kolbaba, after round 1. Yeah, we aired that yesterday, but yesterday afternoon, I got a very unique opportunity to sit down with the world number 1's entire family, Kyle Kolbaba, Jennifer, and his younger brothers and sisters, and learn about what it was like as Derek Kolbaba growing up and young, and how he became to where he is today, and the influences he had growing up. So take a listen and see what Derek Kolbaba's dad, Kyle Kolbaba, has to say about your current world number 1. Well, 2017 PBR World Finals is alive and kicking. Aaron Watson on stage across the street. We're in front of the Monte Carlo. Derek Kolbaba. You might know this guy, you might not, but he's the one that born and bred your number 1 in the world, Kyle Kolbaba. Man, it's got to be something awesome to see your son doing so well this year.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. I mean, what a season he's had. It's been awesome. I mean, there's been a few ups and downs, and then it got really going good towards the end of the season. But wow, what a blessing just to see him come along through his career and have this much success this early, you know, as a young man. And really, I wasn't expecting as much success, you know, until he got maybe older and more mature. But he just come into himself and was very responsible and was doing the right things, and man, just had immediate success. It's been awesome to watch.
You know, and as a family member, I mean, you're only as good as the company you keep, and he's keeping some very good company, if I must say, with Jess Lockwood, and those guys are, and I mean, is Derek always that way? Is he really all that? Oh shoot, if I don't win, I hope he does. Come on, really?
I don't think so much, you know, but I think like I've always tried to teach, you know, and he knew this growing up and whatnot, is the guys you hang around with are the guys you're going to be like, you know. And if you're hanging around them guys that are out messing off and doing stuff they shouldn't be doing and staying out late, it's going to affect what you're doing, you know, your riding and your ability and your success. And I think he just kind of from the very start started feeding from the younger guys and the guys that he looked up to, you know, like Cooper Davis, Jess Lockwood, and Stetson Lawrence. They're all good buddies, you know, and I think they're all really good guys, and I think they got their focus, and I think their focus is on riding bulls and not partying and that kind of thing. And I mean, I think it's made a big difference in just the company and the guys he hangs around, you know. It's been good. So.
Absolutely. From a family standpoint, growing up as a little kid, people know Derek Kolbaba inside the arena. Give us a little bit of insight about what it was like growing up with the number 1 in the world, who his influences were, who his idols were in the pro rodeo and bull riding world.
All the time, you know, when he was a little guy, you know, he was, you know, all the way from about, I would say, I remember back when he was 3 years old, asking me, you know, if he could learn to ride bulls, you know, and he just always had it on his mind to become a bull rider. And I think in all his spare time, even as a young boy, he always wanted to either watch it on TV or said, hey Dad, let's go to the PBR in Boise or whatever, you know, just somewhere where he could be a part of it. And so he started at that age, you know, really craving to ride sheep, and then finally works up to at 7, he come back to me, and that was kind of the key. At 3, I was like, you know, my career, I went through a lot of injuries and things happened, you know, and it was like, you know, it's not the best career to choose. So maybe come back to me at 7 and we'll figure it out. At 7, he says, Dad, I still want to ride, you know. And so at 7, we started going to junior rodeos and calf riding. And that's kind of what, even though growing up, he was really interested in baseball and football and doing the regular stuff, schoolwork, you know, actually pulled really good grades. But even though bull riding was number 1 to him, he did other things, you know, he did other sports and all those things. But then it came to a point when he became a teenager, let's say at 14, I kind of had to hold him back because he started wanting to go out and ride the big bulls, and I wouldn't let him do that. I knew it'd tear him up, you know, and it'd hurt him, and you don't want to do that at a young age. For all them younger bull riders, they need to hold off until they're 15 or 16 to really start riding the big bulls. And then finally at 15, I took him to his first big bull riding where he could actually ride the big guys, you know, and he won first that night, and it was just from that point forward he made a living at it and just enjoyed to do what he'd always dreamed to do, you know. So.
Following in Dad's rodeo footsteps, and he's even got some young ones coming up, some younger brothers that are coming up and
he's
following
got some,
his, you know.
Brothers. We're trying to get him into some junior rodeoing and stuff, and then a little brother who's 3 that's going to probably start riding, you know, in the pee-wee stuff this year. So yeah.
Fantastic.
They got some big shoes though that they want to try to catch up to. So.
Absolutely. You know, and you talked earlier about Derek went through some ups and downs. You know, sometimes he was down on himself. What is a dad? What is a family member? How do you rein him back in and get him back grounded after he could have the feeling that all hope is lost for a world title?
Yeah. You know, I think the main thing was, you know, he had quite a bit of success early on in the season. And I remember the year before last, he was fighting an injury. He got hung up to a bull down in Texas, and he was fighting an injury in his hand. And it wasn't a super serious injury, but it was enough that really, and I understood it because I'd been through these things before. I understood how it was harder for him to close his hand and really get a good grip as strong as he's normally used to and things. And so to get a guy through that, you know, I mean, I was just pretty much letting him know that he had to really take care of it. He had to be the one that made the judgment call on whether he should be taking some time off or whether he should push it and ride through the pain and things. And this year, you know, I think that affected him a lot last season. This year, I think it was more of a mental thing with him. And, you know, he started fighting his, I think the way I look at it is when we come together and we started talking about it, is I felt that he was more or less complacent and happy with just being able to make the World Finals, to be in the top, let's say 15 in the world or 20 in the world. He was just happy with just being a part of it. And finally, I think I touched on it to where, you know, him and I had a long heart-to-heart talk, and it's like, you can't just be happy with showing up at the World Finals every year. I think you got to set your goals a little higher and be more happy when you have a shot at winning that world title. I mean, that's what everybody's here for, you know. And I don't know if that was 100% how he felt, but I think that that just kind of just touched a nerve a little bit for him to go, you know what, Dad, you're right, man. I'm just going to these events, and now that I'm sitting in the top 5 or 6 or 7 in the world, I'm just going to these events and just kind of letting bulls get by me, you know. And it's important that I get all these bulls rode. And all of a sudden, he just turned it around. And I mean, he started riding first event after that, and the second event after that. He won 2 events in a row.
Absolutely did.
Right after that. And then he let a couple get away from him during the season. And the last event, he come back and won it too. But, you know, just a little bit of change in his attitude and I think his confidence and his mindset on what his actual goals were and how close he was to obtaining those goals. And why not just kick it into high gear and let's go on with it, you know? So,
absolutely. Yeah. You know, what a great guy to follow in the footsteps, Kyle Kolbaba. You have a wonderful family and a lot of years of rodeo history left in the making with a fine group of kids you have here. So.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much for spending time with us, and it's been a pleasure. I hope you guys have enjoyed the insight to the world #1 Derek Kolbaba. This is Jason Hetland with the Rodeo Roundup Live, right here outside the T-Mobile in the Las Vegas 2017 PBR World Finals. Well, round 2 was the rank pin. The first of 2 times we're going to see him. The second time is going to be Championship Sunday. And the World Buck and Bull race was a virtual dead heat coming into tonight's round here on Thursday night. And I'll tell you what, it did not leave anything to speculation. First bull out was going to be Bruiser, followed by Pearl Harbor, and they had to put up points. So let's take a look at the video footage of each ride, and you can judge for yourself if you agree that Bruiser was 47 and Pearl Harbor was 45-75. Take a look for yourself and leave the comments right here on the Rodeo Roundup Live comment link here on Facebook.
World champ Bruiser in Pearl Harbor will crown them on Sunday the first
We hope you're enjoying your live webcast brought to you by Midwest Rodeos. If you would like your event to be live webcasted, please contact us today by sending an email to midwestrodeos@gmail.com.
It's going to stretch into Sunday, but right now, to make up that ground after the reigning world champ, Pearl Harbor needs 47. Lachlan Richardson. Pearl Harbor going to work.
Well, I'll tell you what, last night, round number 2 was one for the record books. We had just about as many qualified rides we did in round 1, which was really surprising with the eliminator pin. But we were able to catch up with a guy that has been a family legacy around the sport of professional bull riding and rodeo for a long, long time. The owner and founder of Lane Frost brand, the one and only Stetson Frost. And we talked about the choices he had to make and what he had to go through with Clyde and Elsie Lane's mom and dad and the support system he has for the whole Lane Frost brand. Let's see what he has to say right here as we listen to Stetson Frost talk about the iconic Lane Frost brand. Well, 2017 PBR World Finals. We're down here in the media room prior to night number 1, and we have an honor to have you with us here tonight, Stetson Frost.
Thank you.
Tell you what, you've come a long way, and your brand has really generated a lot of awareness within the bull ride and rodeo world. Let's talk about that.
Well, we've been in business now 2 years, and I think we're way further than I initially thought we'd be at this point. We're blessed. It has taken off. We're honored to be a part of this event. We're honored to be here watching it firsthand. We have our athletes that we sponsor, and it's just a blessing to do that.
Let's talk about how it started and how you came up with the concept and what you had to go through to get the blessing of obviously Clyde and Elsie on starting this journey.
Okay. Well, I'm a big hat guy. I always wore hats, and I never rodeoed myself, but I was always a big fan of my Uncle Lane. I was always a big fan of bull riding. And you see all these kids and everybody, oh, we love the movie, and nobody really had a vehicle to honor Lane. They had nothing that they could use and have that's, I'm a Lane Frost fan. So I saved up literally a couple $100, bought an order of hats, just kind of for myself. I was going to toss them to some friends, and it turned into, here we are 2 years later. I mean, we're in 50 stores nationwide, selling in 4 countries consistently, and I'm keeping way more than that financially in hats on me now. So it's really turned around. But with the blessing side, it's been on my heart to do something, and I sit down with my Aunt Robin, Lane's sister, and I sit down with my grandmother Elsie, and we just kind of had a powwow about what I saw this doing and where it would go. And Grandma said, go for it. You got our blessing. I do cut money back to our Bible fund every month. I feel that's important. So I cut money back to that. I help my grandparents with whatever I need to on their end. And we just flow with it. And it's been a blessing. It really has.
And that's really a cool deal, because when we all met for the first time at the Bull Riding Hall of Fame, down to Fort Worth Stockyards earlier this year, Clyde and Elsie were there, you were there, the entire family was there because Lane was getting inducted.
Definitely.
And we talk about those cowboy Bibles. People that don't know Clyde and Elsie and don't know the family may not know what you guys as a family do, and they can get these Bibles for free.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes, we have on the website. We did have to charge a little bit for cost just to break even on getting the Bible shipped and getting it to them. Past that, if we're at an event, the Bibles are free. Now, if it's a church contacts us and wants Bibles, we'll send them a case for free. There's no nothing. When Elsie's out speaking, all the Bibles are free. We do as many free Bibles as we can, because we want the word out there, 1, and 2, we've been so blessed on the back end. We do work by donation for the Bible company. So we have gotten a lot that have come in, and that Bible company has sustained almost 20 years on its own. No money put back into it out of our own pockets. And I think last time Elsie did kind of a count, she's given out over 300,000 copies.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then, you say you're honored to be part of this event. Now, you do have a booth here. this week, don't you?
Yes. We're at the South Point, kind of where it all started with the velocity and the MBR. We're real proud of the MBR kids, and that's where it starts. So we've put a lot into them. So yeah, we're over at the South Point with our booth.
Let's talk about that, because you sponsor some MBR riders as well as Built Ford Tough Series riders.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about what that means to these youngsters growing up and understanding that, hey, if you do right and you represent yourself correctly, you're going to be getting the sponsors and learning from a young age.
We look at the guys today, the adults in the pro world, and not in a negative light, but there wasn't the technology and the things where we're at today. These guys didn't have a lot of knowledge in marketing themselves or social media or all that. This has all come about recently. So with these MBR kids and things, I have kind of taken it as a personal mission to prepare them for when they're big boys. We have an application to be sponsored. We have a couple-page application on lanefrost.com, and secretly I do that for the fact that these boys need to learn how to fill out an application, and two, they need to learn how to represent themselves. You got to get on there and you got to sell yourself. You can't just say, hey, I ride bulls. What do you want to do? So we've done it. We've done on the sponsorship with the youth as a way to prepare them as for adulthood. But on the other side of that, we just love the kids. It all starts there. 10 years from now, half them kids are going to be right here, right now at these finals.
Yeah, 100%. And some of these MBR kids that I see are just simply amazing, And not only that, MBR, but you're sponsoring some Built Ford Tough Series folks, which you'll see here this weekend as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we started our sponsorship with Brady Sims. Good guy, had tough luck, broke his leg in several places early in the year. And we're still proud of him. We're still with him, but we had to keep going with our sponsorship. So we picked up Stetson Lawrence, and once we picked him up, we took him in with open arms, and he's been a blessing. He's been great. We also picked up Luciano de Castro. We got a Brazilian bull rider. We thought it was important to reach out to a Brazilian guy. We're big fans, and Brazil's a big fan of Lane. They really are. And we also picked up Frank Newsom. We have Frank Newsom as our official bullfighter. So, like I said, we've got a few guys in there and some big shots in there for sure.
Absolutely, you're making great strides.
Yes, we are,
for the Lane Frost brand, and it's been an honor to see you coming up, and I sure appreciate you taking the time here to spend with us here at the 2017 PBR World Finals.
Right, sir.
Stetson, thank you.
Well, night number 2 was awesome last night, and actually we get the chance to talk to Jess Lockwood after his second consecutive round win, putting up another 89 3/4 after a 90 1/4 in round 1. This kid is 600 of 600 points in the first 2. He's quickly climbing up the world standings leaderboard, making a serious push toward the top to number 1 and take over his best friend Derek Kolbaba. We were able to catch up with him last night right outside of the T-Mobile immediately following his round 2 win. Here's what he had to say. Well, 2017 PBR World Finals, it's like deja vu outside of the T-Mobile. 2 for 2. There's 600 points available in the first 2 rounds. You're 600 up and skyrocketing to number 1 in the world. Jess Lockwood, the new number 1 man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it feels great to get both in a row, and let alone be a round winner on both. But plenty more bulls left to go, so just keep at them.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about that ride, because you guys here have a chance to pick your bulls, and we're going to get into that about what happened tonight when you had to be out here. But knowing what bulls you have to pick, what goes through your head? Are you going for big points, or are you going for ones that you know you can ride?
Both. You got to pick one that is just not a stupid pick that's going to just be unbelievably hard to ride. In a world title race, you got to be smart and just get the points you can, but also at the same time, you want to pick the round winners. So I think that's what Cody Lambert has done for me.
Let's talk about that, because you had to be out here, and there was a bull draft going on where you guys got to choose your bulls, but you weren't able to be there. So what? You went old school.
Yeah. I could have been there for sure, but me and Justin McBride both trust Cody Lambert as much as anyone, and he knows the bulls better than we do, and he knows what fits us better than we do actually. So we just let him pick for us.
Yeah. Subway for dinner last night?
Not for last night. I had it for lunch.
Yeah, for lunch. That's right. You had it for lunch today too?
Yeah, I had a leftover. So
That's why you're back here.
Yeah. We'll just keep it up, I guess.
Awesome. Let's talk about, because I got to talk to Kyle, Derek's dad, earlier today, and you guys have a bond that is unbreakable, and just to see you guys thrive in 2017 and go head to head and toe for toe, it's something special.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends, and I just want him to do as well as he can, and me at the same time, and I'm cheering him on every step of the way, as he is to me, I'm sure, as well. So it's just a great, awesome time.
Now you're going to go get a nice little new truck like he has with all the graphics on there so people know where you're at, right?
Oh, no.
You don't want to be known?
No. He can have that one.
Awesome. Hey, who do you have for round 3?
More big bucks.
More big bucks.
Yep.
Well, you've made $70,000 in 2 days, so why not add $35,000 more to it?
That would be just fine with me.
Absolutely. We'll see you back here again tomorrow.
Sir, thank you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Hetland here, 2017 PBR World Finals. Night number 2 is in the books, and your new #1 man in the world, just the first 2 rounds, and the second round of the Eliminator Pin ending last night. We head into round 3 on a little bit softer of a level for these Cowboys. We give them a little break if you can. There's really not a great pin of bowls that are going to give these guys any amount of break, but if it is one right here. And with the closest world title race in PBR history, every ride is imperative. And as you can see here right up on our graphic, we have the top 5 bull riders in the world, and really, in fact, the top 10 bull riders in the world still have a legitimate shot of claiming a 2017 World Championship title. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave this up, and we'll talk to you right after round 3 as we bring our daily pre-show to you once again Friday morning right here live from the T-Mobile Arena in beautiful Las Vegas at the 2017 PBR World. You can see right up here the fans of the PBR. That's right, we're doing a fantasy league game right here, free of charge, and each night you have a chance to win a beautiful hand-painted feather from our good friends from Diamond D Art out of Dayton, Iowa. As long as that, we have some great prizes from our good friends from B90 Apparel, as well as Lane Frost Brand. We're going to start doing that tomorrow. And round 1, a couple nights ago, a huge congratulations goes out to Christina Tolley as she wins the first of 5 beautifully hand-painted feathers from our good friends from Diamond D. So congratulations to her.